Hello everyone, hope you are doing good. Today we shall look into a new concept from our number systems, that is about surds. So basically we shall begin with the definition of a surd. So we shall look into the properties of it and we shall know how to do the operations on surds, so in our further discussion. So without any further delay, let us begin. Before actually proceeding into our topic surds, let us understand a few basic notations. Suppose if I say, when I write root 2 like this, so what does it mean? So actually we can write it also as 2 power 1 by 2. This is how we can write root 2 as. Sometimes suppose let us say there is a cube root of 8. So this we write it as 8 power 1 by 3. 8 power 1 by 3. If it is 8 cube, you will write 8 power 3. If it is cube root of 8, you will write it as 8 power 1 by 3. If it is fourth root of, suppose this is how you write fourth root, so you will write root and in this curve just you will place this 4, 16, let us say. How we will write it as? You will write it as 16 power 1 by 4. So we just actually read it as fourth root. This is cube root, this is square root. Suppose if I say there is fifth root like this, so we read it as fifth root of 32. So we generally write it as 32 whole power 1 by 5. Okay, so this is how a few basic notations work. So don't get confused, this 5 has to be placed inside this particular curve. Suppose if I write like this 5 root 32, this will be 5 into square root of 32. Both are not same, but this is fifth root. This is how actually we can write it as 32 power 1 by 5. So suppose if there is any number, so I will take a general case. Suppose any number, let us say nth root. So that means in this symbol there is a number a is there like. So here whenever there is nothing present inside this particular creep, so we assume by default it is 2. So that means it is square root. So that's why I am taking here power 1 by 2. It is nth root of a. So if it is nth root of a, how you can write actually it as a power 1 by n. So if it is cube root, it will be 1 by 3. It is fourth root, it will be power 1 by 4. If it is fifth root, it will be power 1 by 5. And if it is nth root, we generally write it as whatever the number inside, that power 1 by n. So this is how we write nth root of a number a. After understanding the basic notation, so now let us just go through the definition of a surd. So we are basically talking about surds. The other name for surd is going to be radical. Both are same. So surd or radical. So what are actually these surds are? So let us just go through the definition once and let us make it clear later. So if a is a rational number and n is a positive integer such that nth root of a is an irrational number. So this definition looks to be difficult for you. So let me make it simple. Suppose there is any number. So let us say there is a number like 2. You take nth root, that means you take second root, third root, fourth root, let us say. So this is the square root. Suppose if you take cube root of 2, you take fourth root of 2, like this you take. So here basically there has to be a number inside and you have to take the nth root of that number. If that comes to be irrational, if this entire value, if it is irrational, then we say this particular thing as a surd. See here root 2, so inside a number a is there. I have taken this as second root. That means square root means what? It will be by default we are assuming that square root means second root. So it will be square root of 2. Is it irrational or not? Yes, already in our previous discussions we have seen that this root 2 is going to be irrational. So this is going to be irrational. So that's why this root 2 I can call it as a surd. What about cube root of this particular 2? So actually see whether any number on cubing will give you actually this particular 2. No. So that's why, so see here there is a number 2 which is, so here inside number should be what? So a rational number. Is 2 a rational number? Yes. Is n a positive integer? See here in place of just we have to compare one thing. We have to compare with the general form nth root of a. Nth root of a. So here n means 3. Is it a positive integer or not? Yes. Inside there has to be a, which is rational number. So generally just we consider this as our reference. We will compare with it and we shall decide whether the given thing is a surd or not. Now just compare. So here inside there are 3 conditions basically. First one, inside number should be a rational number. Second case, outside whatever you are writing, this n has to be a positive integer, and overall after you write this entire thing should become irrational. So we have to check 3 conditions whether to tell whether given number is a surd or not. So let us apply this process for this particular number to just decide whether it is a surd or not. First of all, see here, a number a is equal to 2 here, and n is equal to how much? 3 here. So n is a positive integer and inside there is a rational number also. So now 2 conditions are satisfied. Now see the third condition, whether this overall result after you write cube root of 2 will become ever irrational or not. So how will you actually check it? So now just think of a number, any natural number. On cubing, can it give you 2? No. So that's why the overall result is going to be irrational in this case also. So that's why I can call this cube root of 2 as a surd or a radical. So let us take one more example, 4th root of 2. So our general form is going to be for surds nth root. So don't get confused. So we can write it in 2 ways. So the same thing can be written as a power 1 by n. Okay. So we shall use this later form. This means a power 1 by n form for simplification purpose. But for comparing and all, just we will use this first. So compare with it. So inside there is a rational number s. Outside there is a n, which is positive integer s. 2 conditions are satisfied. What is our third condition? This entire result has to be irrational. So how will you actually check it? So take any number. So suppose if you keep the power 4 to that number, will it give you 2? That is what we have to check. Will it give any number which can give you 2 if you take to the power 4? Any natural number is there? No. So that is why it is going to be irrational. In this case also this entire result is becoming irrational. So we have to check the 3 things. First one, inside there has to be a rational number. Second thing, the outside, whatever just we will come to know in further discussion, we call it as radical. We shall see it later. So this has to be a positive integer. Okay. Now overall result has to be irrational. These 3 points are important to check whether the given number is a surd or not. So let me take one more example. It will be clear to you. Suppose see, if I take, let us say, square root. If I write 2 or not, it doesn't matter. Why? Because by default we will assume square root means the power 1 by 2, 16. Okay. Now is it a surd? That is my question. Now see, let us begin with our basic process. First thing, inside there has to be a rational number. 16, is it a rational number or not? Yes. Outside there has to be what? There has to be a positive integer. So nth root here, positive integer is there. Okay. 2 conditions are satisfied here. But see the third condition, this overall result should be irrational. But see, what is square root of 16? It will be plus or minus 4. This result, is it irrational? No. So that is why this square root of 16 can't be called as a surd. Let me take one more example. Suppose if I say 5th root of 32. So just try to familiarize yourself with how we read these things as 5th root of 32. Okay. So we have to check whether it is a surd or not. So we will follow our 3-step process. First thing, just we have to compare with the general form nth root of a. So where inside number is a, outside whatever it is there, that has to be a positive integer n. The overall result has to be irrational. Now see, first condition, inside number 32, is it a rational number? Yes. Now outside number is a positive integer. That means whatever the nth, we call it as radical. So I will explain the thing later. So this is a positive integer. So 2 things are satisfied here. But actually, what is 5th root of 32? So here can I write this thing as 32 whole power 1 by 5? 32 power 1 by 5. You have to simplify the things always. So now see, if you prime factorize this particular 32, can I write this as 2 power 5? So I can very well write it as 2 power 5. So 2 power 5 whole power 1 by 5. So in which form it is? A power m whole power n. It is going to be a power mn. So it will be 2 power 5 into 1 by 5. So this 5 I can cancel. What will be left? The answer is 2. So what is fifth root of 32 actually here? It is 2. Now see, first two conditions are satisfied, but the last condition, this entire result has to be irrational, but I am getting my result to be 2. Is 2 irrational? No, it is going to be a rational number. So that's why this fifth root of 32 is not going to be a surd. So basically surds will be of this form, and the entire result, surds are basically irrational numbers. Surds won't include rational numbers. Surds are irrational numbers, those which can be in this form. So nth root of a such that here a should be a rational number and n should be a positive integer, and this entire result has to be an irrational number. So in that case we can say the number to be a surd. So as we call this entire thing as a surd, now see this, whatever the 5 is there, that means n, here we call it as radicand. So this entire thing we call it as radical, and this is whatever we are taking nth root, that means that n, whatever the positive integer we are just considering, we call it as radicand. So this entire thing radical, whatever comes inside this, whatever outside, so that is going to be your radicand. So here there is one more important point to note. Now see, every surd is going to be irrational number. So every surd is going to be irrational number. That means you take any surd, that is going to be irrational number. Why? Because we are just defining surds are irrational numbers. Okay, surds are irrational numbers, but every irrational number need not to be a surd. That means, suppose, let me take one example. Suppose 0 1 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. So it is irrational number, but there is no guarantee that I can just bring it to this form. Okay, but if I look at the decimal expansion of this form, it will be non-terminating, non-repeating, which will satisfy the definition for our irrational number. But every irrational number may or may not be a surd, but for sure every surd is going to be an irrational number. So here every surd is going to be irrational, but every irrational may or may not be a surd. So this is the thing we need to keep in mind. So we have seen that surds will be of the form, let us say, nth root of a. Okay, so remember this has to be, so surds can be written as this form. So in this form n is going to be your radicand, and this entire thing is going to be your radical. So inside whatever it is there, that has to be a rational number. So that is our basic definition of particular our surd. Now see how we can actually classify, how we can just name them. Suppose here this n, what we call radicand, so we call it as radicand. So the other name for radicand is going to be order. Okay, so here this will be order. Now see, if this n is going to be 2, n is going to be what? 2, we call it as quadratic surd. That means square root of 3 is square root of 2. We can't call square root of 9 as a quadratic surd. Why? Because this square root of 9 is not at all a surd first. Why? Because see, when you, even if we consider square root of 9, this is a rational number and by default we will assume 2, so both conditions are satisfied, but the entire result has to be irrational for a surd. But square root of 9 is what? Plus or minus 3. Is it irrational? No. So that is why if it is a surd, suppose let us say root 3, so a is 3 here and n is, by default we assume square root means here 2 is there, so n is equal to 2. So in this case it is going to be quadratic surd. So the order of the surd is 2, then we call it as a quadratic surd. Now what about cubic surd? The order will be 3, cube root of 4. Suppose see, if you consider cube root of 8, cube root of 8. So cube root of 8, is it going to be a cubic surd? No. Why? Because it is not at all a surd first. Why? Because even if it is satisfying in this form, this entire result won't be an irrational number. Why? Because see, if we simplify it further, how can you actually write it as? It will be 8 power 1 by 3. That is actually what I told in the beginning. This is the standard notation that we can use for nth roots. So if it is cube root, I can write it as 8 power 1 by 3. If you prime factorize this particular 8, what you will write? You will write it as 2 cube. So 2 cube whole power 1 by 3. So 2 cube, when you write whole power 1 by 3, this 3 will cancel and your answer will remain 2. Is it 2 an irrational number? No, it is going to be a rational number. So that is why it is not at all a surd. So if it is not a surd, how can you name it as a cubic surd? So just keep in mind, simplify the things into the simplest form, then only decide whether the given thing is a surd or not. Okay, that is how we define a cubic surd. Now what about biquadratic surd? The order has to be 4. So whatever comes here, the fourth order, suppose you take 4th root of 65. 4th root of 65. Even if you simplify this one, so we won't be getting a rational number. So this entire thing I can call it as a biquadratic surd. Suppose you consider 4th root of 16. 4th root of 16. Okay, keep in mind I am writing this 4 inside this curve. If I write like this 4 16, both are entirely different. This is 4 into root 16, this is 4th root of 16. Don't get confused, just be little cautious here when you use both the notations and all. Here I am keeping it inside the creep, so this is what our creep is. So this can be written as, so is it a biquadratic surd? That is what my question is. So just let us check. So simplify it further, whatever it is there in our inside part, try to prime factorize it. So how we can actually write it as? It is 2 power 4. To prime factorize, so 2 into 2 4, 4 into 2 8, 8 into 2 it will be 16. 16 is 2 power 4 whole power 1 by 4. Why 1 by 4? Nth root I can write it as whole power 1 by n. So these two get cancelled, I am getting 2. Is 2 an irrational number? No, it is a rational number. So the entire value of this particular thing is a rational number. Will it be a surd now? No. So that is why it is not a biquadratic surd also. So for becoming biquadratic surd, first of all it has to be a surd first. So that is why, so we can't call this as a biquadratic surd, but this as a biquadratic surd. So that is naming the surd depending upon the order, whatever it is there for the given surd. So depending upon the terms in the given surd, how we can actually name them. So we have already seen one way of just naming them depending upon the order. That means depending upon the radicand, what we also call it as. But let us see, depending upon the number of terms in the given surd, how we can actually classify them, how we can actually name them. So already we know a single term is there, that is monomial. So nominal means term, mono means 1, bi means 2, nomial means term. So binomial, trinomial, like this classification already we have used it for algebraic expressions, if you remember. So now see, we use a monomial surd. Suppose if it is root 2 is there, how many terms are actually there? So it is a surd, it is having only one term, so that is going to be a monomial. Suppose if I say 2 root 2, it is still having only one term, it is also a monomial. So don't think that there is 2 and there is root 2. This is as a product making a term, so that is why it is also going to be a monomial surd. First of all, check whether it is a surd. So why it is entirely a surd? Why? Because root 2 as a irrational number. So when you multiply this particular with 2, check this decimal expansion won't end. When you take twice also it won't end. So entire result also will be an irrational number. So as a result it will be an irrational. So that is why these are the examples I have given for monomial surds. Just you can make your own examples. It has to consist of only one term. Now what about binomial surd? Binomial means what? Bi means 2, nomial means terms. 2 terms in a surd. So see here, root 5 plus root 2, 2 terms are there. Root 3 plus 2, 2 terms are there. Root 3, 2 minus root 3. So it also binomial. So why? Because see here, so this entire thing will be irrational. Just I want to tell you one point here. So this is irrational, this is irrational. We are adding root 2 to root 5. So both will add up to an irrational number. Now see here, when you add a rational number 2 to our irrational number root 3, so it is to take the value of root 3, it will be 1.714 something, like it will won't end. When you are adding 2, will it become again irrational or not? So this will be irrational, this will be irrational. So as in this case, this also will be irrational. Just try to take own examples and check whether this result hold good for every number or there are some exceptions. Just take it yourself. So this binomial surds. Now whenever binomial surds are there, we use one more term, conjugate surds. Suppose see, conjugate means what? Suppose binomial surds will be connected by either plus or minus. Suppose see, in this case these two terms are connected by plus sign, these two terms are connected by minus plus sign, these two again they are connected by minus sign. So what are conjugate surds actually means? Suppose there is a number root 3 plus root 2, so this is given. So this is a binomial surd. For a binomial surd, we will define one more thing called conjugate surd. What are conjugate surds? Conjugate surds are actually those which are exactly as this one, but the connecting sign will be different of the initial one. So it will be root 3 and it will be root 2 only. In between, if plus is there, we will keep minus. If minus is there, we will keep plus. That is going to be our conjugate surd only for binomial surd. So we define generally conjugate surds for only binomial surds. So if I say root 3 plus root 2, what is the conjugate for it? Root 3 minus root 2. Now if we consider 2 plus root 5, what will it will be connected by a plus sign in between. So here just if you keep minus sign in between, it will become 2 minus root 5. That is going to be our conjugate surd for this particular 2 plus root 5. So these are nothing but monomial surd, binomial surd and conjugate surds. So just we are looking at the different kinds of classifications that we can do by taking different parameters. So the first classification we have done based upon the order. The second classification we have done based upon the number of terms in the given surd. Now we shall see some examples where we have to identify the given things whether they are surds or not. So let us see. So state with reasons which are the following are surds and which are not. With reasons we have to just justify our answer. Now first one is square root of 64. So whenever, just remember our inside number, so our side has to be basically of the form nth root of a. So this is our definition. This entire thing has to be irrational. You write it somewhere. So this is what we are going to work with now. So now see here, whenever it is given, so see square root of 64. So I told you whenever square root is there, by default there will be 2 inside this script. So square root of 64. For your understanding, if you want, you write it, no problem. Square root of 64. So now it is in exactly this form. We have to check the third condition. The entire result has to be irrational. So remember, whenever there is a composite number inside that particular whatever nth root, we have to simplify it in the prime factorization form. You take 64. So how actually you can write 64 as? So it will be, suppose if you prime factorize it, so 2 32s are, again it will go 2 16s are, again it will go 2 8s are, so it will 2 4s are and 2 2s are. So 64 it can be written as, it will be 2 2s are 2 power 6. So it will be square root of 2 power 6. Just you write it. And I told you whenever nth root is there, I told you one more notation. I can write it as whole power 1 by n. So can I write it as 2 power 6? Whatever it is inside, I am writing the prime factorization form. Whole power, this square root is nothing but 1 by 2. Now see, we are very well aware of exponential laws. It is of the form a power m. So just you write it, a power m whole power n, a power mn. It will be a power mn. So what we have to do, just we have to multiply this 6 and 1 by 2. What is 6 and 1 by 2? Multiplication. So 2 power 6 into 1 by 2, that is going to be 2 power 3. So that is 2 power 3. So what is 2 power 3 actually? It is going to be 8. So even if it is in this form, this entire result is coming to be 8, which is rational. But our entire result has to be irrational to call it as a surd. So that is why this root 64 is not a surd. That is the answer for the first part. Now let us check this root 45. So root 45, see again I will advise you to prime factorize the things inside this particular nth root. So prime factorize this particular root 45. What you will get actually, 45 means what? 3 into 3 9, 9 into 5. So 3 into 3 into 5. So just, so since It is square root. For every pair of factors, we will take 1 3 out, one factor out. If it is cube root, for every 3 you will take 1 out. If it is fourth root, for every 4 factors you will take 1 out. So here can I write as 3 root 5, 3 root 5. So now see 3 root 5. So already we have seen root 5 as an irrational number. An irrational number. So 3 into root 5, again it will be irrational. Now see this entire thing. So this is going to be, now come to just our original form. This is root 45. So we know that, so this 5 root 5 is irrational number. We are multiplying with 3, so that will be again our irrational number. So we are doing this step to see whether the entire result is irrational or not. Now just come to our original form, square root of 45. It is in the form of nth root of a, so that means it is square root of 45. The entire result is irrational number, so that is why it is a surd. So that is our second part. Now let us take the third part, root 20 into root 45. So what actually we will do, so whenever, see here, root 2 into root 3, root 2 into root 3. So remember, so root both are same. It will be root 6. So just you take this square root as it is and you multiply whatever inside. But remember, these two, whatever the orders are there, here it is a surd of order 2, it is also surd of order 2. So just we can multiply the inside numbers. Why it is actually working? So this will be based upon an exponential laws only. Suppose see, it is 2 power 1 by 2. It is 2 power 1 by 2 and it is 3 power 1 by 2. So we already seen a power n into b power n will be ab power n. So when the powers are same and base are different, we can just multiply the powers, just multiply the bases, and just we can keep a common power. That is what I am doing here. So here 1 by 2, just better you assume the square root as 1 by 2. Just try to interchange the things and see. So whatever it is convenient for you, just you can follow that notation. So it will be like root 6 here. So as like root 20 into root 45. So the order is same. So just you take that order and you multiply these two. So 20 into 45 will be 900. Now see, this is actually 900. Now it is in our form only, which is our nth root of a, in this form only. But we are going to see whether it is irrational or not. Now see, any number on squaring will give you, is there any number which will of on squaring will give you this 900? Yes, it is there. It's 30. Square root of 900 is what? 30. But is this 30 irrational or irrational? It is going to be irrational, but for surd it has to be irrational. So can I call this product, whatever it is there, as surd? No. So I can't call it as a surd. So this is not going to be a surd for that. Let us take for fourth example. So fourth example is 8 root 10 divided by 4 root 15. We have to tell whether it is going to be a surd or not. So the first thing, just you write it in the numerator denominator form. So just it will 4 will go 2 times here. So just there is one more way of doing it also. I will tell you it later. So now see, just don't look at the solution. Now see, here 8 root 10 is there, 4 root 15 is there. Now see, this 4 will go 2 times. So just keep it as a. Now we are left with root 10 by root 15. Root 10 by root 15. Now see, if you prime factorize this 10 inside, it will be 2 into 5. So there is no other way of writing it. So can I say this root n as irrational? Root 15 also. So 15 I can write it as what? Square root 3 into 5. So again it will be root 3 into root 5 in the denominator, and in the numerator it will be, let us say, square root of 2 into square root of 5. So even if I cancel this thing and this thing, what I am left with, 2 into root 2 by root 3. That is what our simplified form is. Now see, we know that root 2 is irrational, root 3 is an irrational. So when you divide this decimal expansion, suppose if you write the entire decimal expansion like this, with this undefined decimal expansion like 2 millions of places, again the entire result will be irrational. So we are multiplying, taking 2 times of it, this entire result, will it be irrational or not? So this will be irrational for sure. So that is why this entire thing will be a surd. So it is in the basic form. Suppose if we see this square root of can I write it as 2 by 3? Why? Because there is a common whatever I told, just if it is in multiplication or even if in division, if it is common thing is there, like root 2 by root 3. Okay, I can write it as square root of 2 by 3, no problem for me. So why? Because it is of the form a power n by b power n only. So but here n is 1 by 2, here also n is 1 by 2, so I can write it as a by b whole power n. That is what I am doing. So even if you check with the general form, it is 2 times, no problem, 2 times. Check this part, 2 by 3 rational number, square root, so that is why our nth order will be 2 here, order will be 2 here. So it satisfies the definition of that particular standard form, as well as this entire thing turns to be irrational. Now we shall look at some important things here. Suppose if root 8 is given to you, so what did I tell? Just actually we can prime factorize it, so we can write it as 2 into 2 into 2. So since it is square root, so just for every pair of these factors we can take one factor out. So here from this pair I will take 1 2 out, so that means this 2 will come out. Now what about this 2? Is there any pair for that? No, so that is why I can write it as like this. So just I am simplifying the thing, I am simplifying it to be 2 root 2. Now there is one more way of writing 8. So how we can actually write 8 as root 8 into root 8? Why? So this is nothing but 8 power 1 by 2 into this is also 8 power 1 by 2. So we know that when the bases are same, we can add the powers. That means a power m into a power n is equal to a power mn. So this is going to be 8 power half plus half will be 1. So again this will be like this. So these forms will be very useful when we come to simplification part of the surds. So let us take this example using this one. So already we have simplified it, but we shall do it in a different way as we have done in this example. Now see, this 8 root 10 is there, can I write this 8 as root 8 into root 8, and this root 10 as root 10 only, and this 4 as, this is not 4th root, this is 4 into root 5. So 4 can be written as root 4 into root 4 multiplied by root 15. Now see, as I told, whenever the order is same, it is second order, it is also second order, you take the common second order and you multiply whatever it is inside. So this is also based upon our exponential laws only, nothing new. Whenever the power is same, we can multiply the bases and we can keep the common power. That is what I am saying. Here the common power is root, so that is why I am just taking the square root for the entire thing. Now in the denominator also same case. Now see, it will simplify to square root of 640 by square root of 240. Even just if you simplify further, what it will become actually, suppose see, further simplify it. So how we actually, just here there is no need that again we have to get back to this form, just we can simplify the things further here itself. Suppose see, this what we can write, this is nothing but root 8 into root 8 into root 8 into root 10. Can I write as root 10 as root 2 into root 5, root 2 into root 5. I am just taking it to the simplest form. Now this is root 4 is there. What is root 4? 2. Here root 4 is 2, and this is root 15. I can write as root 5 into, and this is root 3. Root 15 as root 5 into root 3. 15 is equal to 3 into 5. Root 15 is equal to root 15 into root 5 into root 3. Now can I cancel root 5, everything in multiplication you can cancel, no problem. Now see here what we are left with. Now see, root 2 will go how many times into? It will for sure it will go root 2 times. Why? Because root 2 into root 2 is 2. So that is why this root 2 will go root 2 times into. So I will write this as root 2. Now see what we can actually do. Now here root 2, if you further simplify, it will go root 4 times. What is root 4? It will be 2. So it will be 2 only. This 2 we can cancel. So what we actually left with root 8 by root 3. So there are many ways of simplifying these things. Don't get confused. Just we can use whatever the method we want. So the entire thing will boil down to this root over 8 by 3. So again we have to check with this entire thing is irrational number or not. So this is going to be irrational number, and this is in the form nth root of a. So nth root of a. Now a is our irrational number, a is a rational number and this n has to be positive integer. So as I told you, by default there will be 2. This is second root of a, it is going to be a positive one, so that is going to be, this entire thing is going to be a surd. So this one is going to be a surd. So we shall see one more example. See, this is 3 root 12 divided by 6 root 27. Is it a surd? That is my question. That is what we have to simplify. First of all, just simplify it to the simplest form. Whatever we can do, just take it to the simplest form. So now just how we can actually proceed. Don't look at the solution, try to proceed in whatever the way you want. Suppose this is 3 root 12. So 3 root 12 by 6 root 27. That is what I am getting, 6 root 27. Now what I would do, just can I cancel this 3 two times here? So what I will have left with root 12. So root 12 by, it will be 2 into root 27 in the denominator. That is what I am left with. Okay. Now this 12, if you prime factorize this one, this will be square root of 12 means what? Can I write it as 2 into 2 4, 4 into 3. So, okay, it will be, I am taking the simplest form, it will be 3 inside square root only. Now this will be, why? Because can I write this 2 as root 2 into root 2? No problem. Why? Because I am just taking everything into square roots only. Now this root 27, root 27 means what? So 3 into 3, 9, 9 into 3. So can I write it as root over 3 into 3 into 3. Now see, if you do this way, everything is coming under root. Now see, just try to separate the things now. Whenever it is multiplication, just we can write them separately also under multiplication only. So I can write it as root 2 into root 2 into root 3. So here if you observe, we are just using the exponential laws, nothing else here. So this will be root 2 into root 2 into, here there are 3 3's inside the square root. I will write root 3 into root 3 into root 3. So don't write root 3 into root 3 as 3 at this step. Why? Because we need to simplify the things. So 1 root 3, this will cancel. 1 more root 3, this root sorry, this is root 2, this is root 2, root 2 cancel, and this is root 2, this is root 2 cancel. So what we are actually left with. Now see here, nothing is in the numerator, that is y1. So remember, we have not cancelled this root 3. Root 3 into root 3 is what? 3. So this entire thing will be 1 by 3. So this 1 by 3, is it an irrational number? No. Why? Because even if you see the decimal expansion, it is going to be non-terminating, repeating in nature. So that is why it is not going to be irrational. So the overall result is not irrational. So just it will boil down to this first form, 1 by, suppose if you see root 3 into root 3 is what? Square root of 9 only, right? So just I can write it as first, for intermediate step I will write it as square root of 9. Why? Because root 3 into root 3, root 9 also you can write, no problem. So root 9 is what? Obviously 3. So it will be 1 by root 9. So I can write the same thing as square root of 1 by 9. So now it is in the form nth root of a, where a is a rational number and n is a positive integer. But the third condition, the entire thing has to be irrational, is not satisfied here. So that is why it is not going to be a surd. So this is not going to be a surd. Okay. Now last sixth example, let us see. Cube root of 5 into cube root of 25. We need to tell whether it is going to be our surd or not. So cube root of 5. So as I told you, so try to just take the common order for everything, whatever it is there in multiplication. Now see, order is 3, here also order is 3. Why can't we multiply them? Why? Because the powers are same. Multiply the bases and keep the common power here. So 5 into 25. So I will write 5 into 25 and the common order is what? That is cube root. So this is what we have to see. So now cube root of 5 into 25 is what? 5 into 5 into 5. So further simplify it, 5 into 5 into 5. So as I told you, whenever there is a cube root inside, from every product of 3, just we can write 1 5 out. That is going to be our answer. Now anything left inside? No. So our answer is what? 5. Now see, is this 5 irrational? So this is nothing but, if you see, this is cube root of 125. 125. Now see, it is in the form of nth root of a only, nth root of a. But the result of this one is not an irrational number in this case. So that is why this entire result is not going to be a surd. So this is not a surd even. So this is also not a surd. So that is how we have to simplify the things, and we have to see whether our three conditions whatever you have seen are satisfied or not. First you have to take it to this form, we have to compare with this form. So inside there has to be a rational number, outside there has to be a positive integer. Even if these two conditions are satisfied, we have to check for the last condition. That means the entire result has to be our irrational number, then only we can call it as a surd. Otherwise we should not call it as a surd. Now there are two terms, pure surd and mixed surd. So let us see what do they mean. Suppose if root 2 is there, is it a surd? Yes. Now see, for this root 2 nothing is there for multiplication, can I assume as 1. That means this is 1 into root 2. That means this surd is having only 1 as the factor, 1 as the rational factor. Suppose if I say 2 root 2, 2 root 2, this is nothing but 2 into root 2. So even if it is a surd, here under multiplication there is a rational number other than 1. So that is why pure surds means, so it is actually what we call it as pure surd. First it has to be a surd, and whatever outside this particular one under multiplication has to be 1. So by default we will assume there is 1. So this is mixed surd. So let me take one more example. Suppose if I write cube root of 65, is it a pure surd or a mixed surd? It is for sure, there is nothing. So that's why 1 into cube root of 65. So it is going to be a pure surd. Suppose if I say 6 into cube root of 65. So it is being multiplied with the factor other than 1. It is going to be a mixed surd. So surds for which 1 is only the rational factor, those are going to be pure surds, and the surds for which there is a rational factor other than 1, we call them as mixed surds, as in this case. Let us take one more example, like suppose if it is like say, for like this, is it a mixed surd or not? Yes, it is going to be a mixed surd. Why? Because square root of 3 is being multiplied with one more factor which is rational in nature, so that is why other than 1 is there, so that is why it is going to be a mixed one, not a pure one. So that is the definition of pure surd and mixed surd. So let us look into some examples related to these pure surds and mixed surds. Now see, the question says, so here express each of the following as a pure surd. Now if you observe everything here, see this is 2 root 3. So 2 into root 3, rational factor is there other than 1. 2 into cube root of 4, rational factor other than 1 is there. So if you assume, so here everything is going to be mixed surds. Okay, now we need to convert them as pure surds. So how actually we will do it? Let us see. Suppose if it is 2 into root 3, that means everything has to be under this root only, everything has to be under this cube root only, everything has to be here only. So like that we have to do. Now see this 2 root 3, how actually we do it? Now what is the order here? 2. So can I write it as square root of 2 into square root of 2 here into root 3? Why? Because square root of 2 into square root of 2 will give you 2 only. Now see, there are 3 product here, right? 3 numbers in the product. Now if you observe, the order is same. So what we have seen, whenever the powers are same, bases can be multiplied. 2 into 2, 4, 4 into 3, 12. If you want to use the exponential laws, it is welcome. We can just use the exponential law. So it is also a power m, a power b power. Suppose if you assume a power m into b power m into c power m. If it is like this, we can write it as abc whole power m. That is what I am using. Okay, here the power is 1 by 2. So square root means what? 1 by 2. Cube root means 1 by 3. Like that we have to remember. This is 12 and there is a square root 12. If you want to just use this 1 by 2 notation, there is the just we can use your convenient notation. Either you can use the square roots and all, just or we can use 1 by 2 and all. Those notations are up to you. It will be square root of 12. So now see, this square root 12 is a pure surd and mixed surd. So there is nothing else is there outside, so that is why it is going to be 1 into root 12. So other way of doing it is what? So if you are convenient with this method, just you go with this method. Otherwise, just you write it as 2 can be written as just if you see 2 power 1 by 2 into 2 power 1 by 2. 2 power 1 by 2 into 2 power 1 by 2 is 2, and that multiplied by square root of 3, that is 3 power 1 by 2. Now everything is 1 by 2 powers, so that's why multiply the bases, it will be 12. 12 power 1 by 2, again it will be square root of 12. That is what we have to do whenever we need to convert a mixed surd into this particular pure surd. This is the first one. Now see the second one. Now this is cube root of 4. So actually we have to just first you take this one, cube root of 4. That means our 2 also has to be expressed as 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3. So how I actually write it as 2 power 1 by 3 into 2 power 1 by 3 into 2 power 1 by 3. Okay. Now see, 2 power 1 by 3 into 2 power 1 by 3 into 2 power 1 by 3 will be what? 2 only. Why? Because it is 2 power 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3. It will be 1. It will be 2. So 2 into this one, cube root of 4. I can write as 4 power 1 by 3. Now see, entire thing will be having a power of 1 by 3. Now just multiply the bases. 2 into 2, 4. 4 into 2, 8. 8 into 4. It will be 32 whole power 1 by 3. That will be cube root of 32. That is going to be your answer. Cube root of 32. So see, any rational factor other than 1 here? No. So that is why it is also going to be a pure surd. Now again look at this thing. It is 3 by 4 into root 32. So as I told, just look at this number. This will be root 32. So can I write this as root 3 into root 3? So that depends upon the number we have the order. So here the order is 2. So try to express this 3 as product of root 3 into root 3, and if it is cube root, you will write it as 3 power 1 by 3 into cube root of 3 into cube root of 3 into cube root. If it is fourth order, 3 power 1 by 4 into 3 power 1 by 4 into 3 power 1 by 4 into 3 power 1 by 4. Why? Because when you add all those things, again it will be power 1 only. So that is why this 4 I will write as root 4 into root 4. That means I am making the order same. I am doing nothing here. I am making the order same. It will be root 32. Now see, multiply the numerator and multiply the denominator also. Just simplify the things there. So 9 square root of everything in the numerator, multiply 9 into 9. It will be, so 9 into, so 3 into 3, 9, 9 into 32. Just it will be 9 into 32 in the numerator. 9 into 32 in the numerator, and in the denominator there will be square root of 4 into 4. Just don't simplify it further. It will be square root of, let us say, 16. 4 into 4, 16. Now in the numerator also the square root, in the denominator also square root. That means the common order is there. So what we have seen, we can take the whole root for the numerator and denominator. So what is just we can write it as 9 into 32 being multiplied with being divided with 16. So this will go 2 times 2 into 9 is going to be 18. So square root of 18. So see, we have a pure surd here. Why? Because there is no other rational factor other than 1. It is 1 into root 18 only. There is no. So just remember, in case of pure surd, only the rational factor present other than the surd given should be 1. So if it is other than 1, we call it as mixed surd. So these are what we call mixed surds, and we are converting them into our pure surds. Now see the last example for this one. It is going to be 3 by 4 root 8. Now as I told, here the order is what? Second order, right? It is going to be second order. Now try to express everything else whatever it is there in the second order form only. Now can I write this 3 as, how you can write actually it as, even if you write 3 power 1 by 2 into 3 power 1 by 2 or root 3 into root 3, that is up to you. So just let me write it as root 3 into root 3. Why I am writing root 3 only? Why? Because here the order is second order, so just I am writing root 3 into root 3. Here denominator will be root 4 into root 4. Just remember, if it is a cube root, then I have to write cube root of 4 into cube root of 4 into cube root of 4. When you take cube root of 4 3 times, multiply them, what you will get? Actually a 4 only. So that depends upon what we have to consider, whatever the number is given to us. So it will be into root 8 is given for us. Now see, numerator part you multiply, there is a common third here, right? The common order is there. So just you take the common order, which is square root. 3 into 3, 9. 9 into 8, it will be 72. 72 that comes in our numerator. And in the denominator, what you will get actually? Square root of 4 into square root of 4. Square root of 16, what we will get? So now see, in the numerator square root is there, in the denominator also square root is there. Can I write the common like this? Common square root and 72 by, you will be getting 16. So just try to simplify the things. So you will get 8 2s are and 8 9s are. It will be square root of 9 by 2. What you will get? It is going to be a pure surd now. So this is how actually we convert a mixed surd in the form of a pure surd. So that is how just we convert one form to the other. Now let us see the laws of radicals. So now in our lower classes we very well know how we operate on the exponents. Suppose these are the exponential laws, just I have taken a few for your reference like this. If you know these things, there is nothing new in this also. Just we will extend the same for our surds also. Let us see how actually they will do. So nth root of a whole power n. So just we read as nth root of a. So what did I tell? Just nth root means what? A power 1 by n. I am explaining the first law, whole power n. Whole power n. So it is of the form a power m whole power n. What is that? A power p into a power q. A power pq. So here a power p whole power q will be a power pq. That means I have to multiply these two. What is 1 by n into n? It will be 1. So it will be a only, a power 1. So that is how our first law works. Now see, if you know the standard notation how to write the surd, and if you know these exponential laws, just you can derive itself. We can derive itself. Now see, it is nth root of a into nth root of b. That is exactly what we have seen in the simplification part. If square root of 2 into square root of 3 is there, what we have done? We have just multiplied 2 into 3, 6, and we kept a common root. Why? Here the order is same. So whenever it is like this, square nth root of a, that means a power 1 by n, and nth root of b, that means b power 1 by n. So will be equal to ab whole power n. ab whole power 1 by n. So nth root means what? Whole power 1 by means always I can write it as nth root of ab. That is what I am doing. Okay. So always just try to express them in this form and just apply your exponential laws. You will get to know everything here. The same thing whenever the order is same in the numerator and denominator. Order means here nth power cube root if is there in the numerator and the same cube root is in the denominator, just we can write like this. Suppose if it is nth root, that means we will write it as a power 1 by n. A power 1 by n by b power 1 by n. So nth roots we write it as 1 by n. That's it. Now see, here the power is same. Okay, why can't we write it as a by b whole power n? Why? Because a power p by a power q will be, suppose c, that is not here. Suppose a power m by p power m. We will write it as a by b. We write it as a by b whole power m. That is how we write. So likewise, see the common power is there. Why can't we write it as a by b whole power n? 1 by n. So 1 by n means what? Nth root. So this is same as nth root of a by b. Nth root of a by b. This is same as this. So just try to work with both notations. Either we can write it as nth root or we can write it as 1 by n. So this is how it works. Now see this one. So always remember, whenever there are complex surd notation like this, so mth root of nth root of a, mth root of nth root of a. So just try to just simplify it from this direction. So now see the inside part. See the inside part. This is nth root of a. Nth root of a means what? A power 1 by n. For that there is mth root. For that there is mth root. So mth root means what? 1 by m only. Power m by m only. Already inside it is a by whole power m whole power 1 by m. So now see a power m whole power n it is formed. A power p whole power q. A power pq. Just you have to multiply these two. It will be a power 1 by mn. So 1 by mn means what? Mnth root only, right? So that is what mnth root of a means here. So like that, just we can interchange it also. Whether you write suppose if a power p whole power q is there, okay, the same thing can be written as a power q whole power p also. So even if you write this part here and this part here, multiplication is commutative in nature, right? Whether you multiply a into b or b into a, so both the things will be same. So that is why just we can work like this. So these two, just we can see it is pth root of a power n whole power m. So a power n, just see the inside part here, a power n whole power m will be a power mn. So for the pth root it will be 1 by p only, power 1 by p. So that is how this works. A power n into a power m, we know that a power n plus m, pth root will be like this only. So these are the laws of radicals. So if you know how to write this nth root as 1 by n like this, and if you know these exponential laws, just it's a mix of both. So if you know those two things, just we can understand how to deal with this particular laws of radicals. Just try it again by using these exponential laws and these standard notations. Again we'll just get to know all these radicals. There is no need to mug these things up. Just use your standard notations and just apply this particular part of standard notations. Now let us actually apply those whatever the laws we have learned for solving these particular examples. Now here we need to find what is the value of 64 power 1 by 2. Now always remember, whenever a power is there like 1 by 2 and here 64 is there, whatever the base is there, this is the base and this is the exponent what we have, prime factorize the 64. Now 64, if you prime factorize, what you will get? So 64, just you can write it as suppose if it is 232s are, so again it will be 2 16s are, so here 2 8s are and 2 4s are and 2 2s are. It will be 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, 6 times, right? So it will be 2 power 6, 2 power 6 whole power, it is 1 by 2. Now look in which form it is, a power m whole power n. So we know that a power m whole power n is going to be a power mn, a power mn. So that is why it is 2 power 6 into 1 by 2. So that is why it will be 2 cube. What is 2 cube? It is 8. It is 8. Is there any one more way of direct answering this question? Yes, see here, this is what? Square root of 64 if you see. So both can be interchangeably used, right? So it is 64 power 1 by 2 is same as square root of 64. So 64 square root is what? On which squaring which number you will get 64? 8. So 8 is the square root for the 64. 8 square is 64, root 64 is equal to 8. Interchangeably we have to use the things. That is this example. Now take this one, 32 power 1 by 5. If you do the prime factorization, what you will get? 32 will be 2 power 5. 2 power 5 whole power 1 by 5. So 2 power 5 1 by 5 will be just 5 we can cancel. A power m whole power n is going to be a power mn. So that is why the answer is going to be 2 here. Now see this example, 125, it is 5 cube and whole power 1 by 3 is there. Okay, so this 3 will cancel, so this will be 5. So the answer for this one is 5, this one is 2. So do elaborately by using the laws and all. So when you are doing, actually we have to just use this exponential laws by side, since just we have to write the statements and we have to do just explaining it. So that's why I'm writing it as a rough. So it is going to be 8. So the answer for this one is going to be 8, this one is going to be 2 and this one is going to be 5. So I hope the concept of surds is clear to you and we have seen the properties also. So just go through it again and learn all the whatever the laws are there for the surds, or what also we call it as radicals. So we shall meet in the next session. So till then, be safe, keep reasoning things. So have a great day. Thank you.